Yeah, it's your boy Gruff here, back on another video, and today I got special for you guys, man. Today we're back with another Tournament of Power Season 92 best teams, guys. You guys know every single season they change up the units, tier lists, and tiers and everything like that. So I try to find like the best setups for a lot of the teams, a lot of the viable teams for Tournament of Power and everything. And yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into it. The only thing I'll probably say here is I've seen a lot of people responding about like the fat boo situation. I'll probably get into the fat boo situation when I talk about the Regen squad and everything like that. But I mean, like I said, these seasons are going to be a lot more difficult than usual. So I always try to advise Z powering your units to higher stars, anything that helps with stats. So Z power, getting them units to Zenkai 7, fully soul boost. Make sure you're able to arch boost them because they're able to help with the stats, especially the special move side. You get double defense, and then whatever attack they prioritize, strike or blast, prioritize that and leave the other one aside. Then after that, like I said, you also have the Tournament Power equipments that helps with like HP and base offense and base defense. Then after that, you have I keep forgetting some other things. Zenkai 7. Then get your units to friendship level 10. That helps with stats as well. And I think that's all that's left when it comes to stats with Tournament Power. You want to have the highest amount of stats as possible because it helps with damage and it helps with surviving throughout the TOP. We want to win 25 wins in a row. We don't want to go to no green or yellow spots. And the season's only going to get difficult. So, like I said, let's lock in and let's get straight into the team. Let's start off with Regen. Alright, so for the first team we have is Regen here. I know you guys have, like I said, been talking about Fat Boo and why I don't use him. Me personally, just the way that he is, he really only heals once every, he only heals one time out of the turn. And, you know, like when I look at it, it's like, it's a really good, he's a really good character, right? But it's just not a character that I really don't need for my setup. And when it comes to these videos, and especially when it comes to Regen, I don't know what characters you have in your account. Everyone's account is different. A lot of you guys don't main Regen, so I don't really know how many characters you guys have for Regen in general. You guys might main movies, but for Tournament Power, you guys use Regen because I use Regen on my videos. So if you guys want to use Fat Boo, you guys can. Me personally, I just don't use them because it's just not a character that I really need. But if you guys need Fat Boo, if you guys need that extra healing, use them. I'm not telling you guys not to use them. I'm just telling you guys got to use the best characters for your box. I don't know what characters you guys do have and don't have, but if you guys are feeling like you guys need extra healing, then use Fat Boo. You know, you guys can replace one of the characters that I use. Maybe you guys take out the green DKP and put Fat Boo for a little bit more healing. Go ahead, you guys can do that. You guys just got to have a Regen team that helps you guys. Like this Regen setup helps me, benefits me. I'm able to win without having Fat Boo, so I don't really need to use them. There might be a time where I do use them. Based off this next team I'm about to show you guys, there's going to be another Regen setup I'm going to show you guys. But yeah, so basically let's go with this setup here. I'm rocking Super Baby 2, Red Ribbon Army Piccolo. It's really been the same characters that you guys have been seeing. Piccolo Jr., you also have LF Piccolo, you have Blue Shenron, and you also have Super Baby 2, which is really like the main core character. He just heals every single turn, super viable. When it comes to my Z tier character, I'm rocking the EX Piccolo. You guys know that he has great healing as well, and he's also part of the Z tier now. He wasn't A tier last season, but now he's back up to the Z tier spot, so I gotta use him as one of my main characters, backup characters. And then for the other character, I'm still kind of deciding who I want to use. I'm just gonna probably use the red cooler here. I mean, like I said, we already have two S tier characters, so I could probably go down and maybe go to like C tier and probably get like maybe a stronger purple character. Who knows? If I just want a stronger offensive character, I can, because I already have a Z tier and I already have two S tiers, so I could just take out this red metal cooler and add somebody else. I'm kind of deciding on who I need to use here, but for the most part, the reason why I kind of rock these type of Regen units is because they're really balanced. You have one C tier character, you have two B tier characters, you have one A tier character, then you have two S tier characters, and then you have a Z tier. So this Regen setup that I always use is a really balanced setup. I don't really rely off the C tier boost and not having less points is because my team is fully balanced and I only have one C tier character. Now when it comes to the replacements here, like I always say, let's start with the purple character. Really the only purple character to really replace Red Ribbon Army Piccolo that I like. I don't know if you guys have Garlic Jr. He's a really good character, but I know a lot of you guys ain't summoned for him. So Light Skin Piccolo is pretty solid. He gives double offense on the Z ability, strike and blast attack, which is really good, and then he gives support to the team as well, which is really nice. After that, you do have this LF Cell. LF Cell has made it to the B tier spot. But like I said, if you guys want to rock him, you guys can. I don't know if you guys have him or not, but he's actually a really good character. Also does double offense for the Z ability as well, which is really nice. And then in terms of the other purple, I'll probably go with Super Boo. Super Boo, he has some type of support as well. He also has like a can attack thing, which is not bad as well. But you guys see, he kind of more catered to Majin Buu Saga and event exclusive with the extra support there. So I kind of put him more on the last list, but he is a free-to-play character. So he's kind of like really the only really good purple option that's in the A tier spot. But if you want to go down to the B tier or the C tier, maybe use Light Skin Piccolo, Garlic Jr., or even the LF Cell, you guys definitely can. When it comes to the green spot, green BKP is free to play, but if you guys don't have him, this cell is actually pretty solid here. I used to use him. I'm not entirely sure how good he is now because of the new season and everything, so I don't know if he's really good. You also have the B tier Fat Boo. Like I said, a lot of you guys, if you guys want to use Fat Boo, go ahead. Not going to use it on my setup, but if you guys want to use it for the extra healing, you guys can as well. Then after that, in terms of the other green, that's pretty much it here. A lot of people have been rocking Baby Trunks. Baby Trunks is just a really good offensive green character, but I kind of like DKP a little bit more, better debuffs, and then he heals, and then he's able to charge his blue card a little bit better than the Baby Trunks, especially in the same tier. But he does provide the Blast Z ability that DKP doesn't. DKP does double defense, while what's name does. He does blast attack Z ability for a region team, so he's kind of a little bit preferred more. And if you want to go down to the C tier spot, Evil Boo is really good just because at the end of each turn he heals himself by 2%, and he also charges up his gauge by 30% each battle. So by the time after 3 to 4 battles, he gets a guaranteed blue because of his special move gauge, which is really nice. But you're dabbling into the C tier spot. When it comes to the red spots, really the red, I mean, you got Piccolo Jr., you got Red Metal Cooler. They're both in the S tier spots. If you guys don't have PJ, you guys can rock Red Metal Cooler as your other S tier character. And then in terms of the other red, I really do prefer either Zenkai Red 21 here because of the blast base, and then also Super Boo here, or Buhan, because double offensive Z abilities. Since they're in the same tier, I probably prefer Red 21. Gives some support, and I think she has a little bit of higher key recovery than Buhan here. But those are really like the main reds just because they are blast based. But if you guys want to go to the C tier spot, and I'm going to show you guys the next regen team, you guys can definitely rock CMZ. CMZ can charge up his blue card, and I'm going to save him a little bit for this next regen team I'm going to show you guys here. In terms of the yellows, you got LF Piccolo here, and then you also got the free to play Perfect Form Cell. He's pretty solid. Then after that, you also have Zenkai Perfect Cell. He heals every time he lands a card each turn, and then he's charged up his gauge, which is not bad. And then you also got Rage Shenron. Great support. And I believe that every time he gets hit with a strike or a blast, he has some type of way of afflicting stuff against the enemy. So every time he lands a blast, he heals. Strike card, they do the can attack thing. So pretty solid character. When it comes to the blue, you have Boo Tanks here. Really solid. I mean, he gets a guaranteed blue card each turn. Another blue unit that's decent. Evil Boo is not bad, but I wouldn't prefer him over Boo Tanks. I think Boo Tanks is better. But if you guys need a blue, I would recommend. He's not a bad option, but I'll put him last. Also, this Metal Cooler is actually an S tier, so he's not a bad unit. The only problem with him is a double defense Z ability, but he does give support and he does give debuffs to the enemies, so it's not bad as well. But a free to play character that you guys can use as well. And that's pretty much it with the regen squad. So this is one regen team that I usually rock for the most part. You also do have Fat Boo, the good one, and Hercule. Really powerful character. It's just that they're in the C tier spot, and I have another regen team I'm gonna show you guys that's more about, like, you got more healing, you have more super move cards guaranteed in each turn, but the problem is that you have the points. It's the tiers, right? There are a lot of them are in the B and the C tier spot. So I'm gonna show you guys this That's the only reason why I haven't never rocked this team. I've always thought about using it, but just the amount of points is super low. But if you guys want to use it, let's hop into the next team. Alright, so we have the next team here. It's another version of regen. I'm kind of going to call this like the super move, super heal regen setup. Alright, and let me explain like what's the difference between this. So look at the backups. We have the yellow Piccolo here. If you guys have the metal cooler Z tier, that's in the Z tier, the yellow EX metal cooler, definitely would recommend using him for sure. That's the only character I don't have, which is the reason why I don't rock this team, is because if I had yellow EX metal cooler, he's always a character that's always in the Z tier spot. So on my backup, I'm guaranteed to have a Z tier unit all the time, and he's always in a Z tier spot because it's really difficult to pull him. He's the only character I don't have, which is why I've never really used this team, because your main 6 is basically C tier and B tier characters. Your backup characters needs to be Z's and S, like it needs to, so you guys can have enough points to make it to the 1.5k CC. The team is very strong, but the problem is the amount of points that each character carries compared to the other team that I have is more balanced. But this character is really heavily relying off the B tier and the C tier characters as your main 6, and your backup has to be in the S and Z tier. Now I do have PJ here. You guys can do red metal cooler, you guys can do blue Omega Shenron. I already talked about the replacements in the first region setup. But what makes this team special is the amount of blue card, guaranteed blue cards you have each battle. So let me break it down. So you have, first of all, you have 3 heal. You actually have 4 healers on this team. If you're rocking the yellow EX Piccolo here, he heals whenever you bring him in. You have Fat Boo, right? You also have Super Baby 2, and you also have this Piccolo here. Piccolo actually heals. It's not as good as the other 3, but he heals and he gives support. So you have 4 healers on this team. Now, when it comes to this guaranteed super blue cards, you have Boo Tanks here. Boo Tanks is really good at the first 2 turns here, especially to start the first turn. He's guaranteed a blue card, right? Really powerful, does a lot of damage to the enemy. So anytime you're facing a really good red, you pretty much want to take out that red first, because he gets the guaranteed blue card, and he's a Zenkai character too. So he's gonna have the stats to really pretty much one-shot a lot of the reds in this in the TOP. And you also have LF Piccolo. LF Piccolo is another character that's a guaranteed LF blue card. I mean, not LF blue card, but blue card in general. By the start of turn 3, he gets a guaranteed blue card. So you have 2 units that has a guaranteed blue card for each battle. Then you have CMZ. Now, CMZ is strike based. I would recommend that whenever you guys do use him, change his thing to the blast, because there's a lot of characters that does a lot of strike. That has like strike cover changes or strike or just counter strikes more than blast. So I would recommend changing it to blast. Even though he's a strike based unit, he has great stats anyways. Take a look at this kid. He has great ways of healing. Every time he lands a strike card, he gets damage inflicted buffs, and he heals his health by 2%. But every time he lands a strike and blast, he guarantees a 20% special move. So what? Each turn we have 4 turns in each battle, so he's charging his gauge by 80% at the end of each battle. And if you multiply it and do the multipliers out of the 25 matches, he's guaranteed to have 20 special move landed in the TOP season each time, because it's 80%. You do the multiplication, 0.8 times 25, it'll equal 20, and that basically means he's guaranteed 20 out of the 25 special move cards each time. Just by this alone, just by this stat alone is insane. Then after that, like I said, he's a Zenkai character, great damage and everything like that. So you have 3 characters that basically has a guaranteed blue card. You have 4 healers. My issue is that you really need your Z, your main backup characters for part 2 is going to really need a carry in terms of you getting to that 80 million to 85 million threshold. That's usually like the baseline of guaranteeing that 1.5k CC. You got to really rely off your backup, because the amount of points that they're going to be able to accumulate, it's not going to be that high, because all of them are in B and C tier. So you got to rely off the backup squad. So if you guys do have yellow metal cooler, the reason why I never rock this team is because I don't have him, and he's a character that's always guaranteed to be in the Z tier spot. When it comes to the other region characters, I don't really know who else is really solid here. I know sometimes Purple EXNL is in here, but right now he's an S tier. And I'm iffy about these other EX units. So if you guys rock these other EX units that's always in Z tier for regen, comment down below who's really solid. I think this red baby right here is pretty good. But other than that, I'm not too sure. So that's the reason why I never rock this team, is because I don't have the EX metal cooler. But if you guys want to give this team a go and see how many points you guys are able to accumulate, then let me know. And yeah, so that's pretty much it with this setup. The regen super move, super heal team compared to the balanced regen team. Let's hop into the next team. Alright, so for the next team here, we have is androids. Androids, I mean, is really just based off, do you have the Red Cell EX Junior? I don't even know why I said that. EX Cell Junior here. For your backup squad, I mean, he's a character right now, and he's always in this Z tier spot, so he's just a super good character to use. Cause he's one of those characters like EX Metal Cooler and all these newer EXs where it's just difficult to pull them. So they're always in that Z tier spot because the usage rate is super low, but really good character. Ramps up every time, and I believe the third turn he heals, which is really nice. And for the S tier character, I decided to go with the first form cell because I believe at the end of the first term or the second term, he heals himself by 10%. I believe it is, where is it at? Tripping. Yep. In the second turn, 10%, and he gives debuffs to the enemies, so it's really solid. Just a lot. He's a character that just does a lot of debuffs, but I mean, 40 damage, and he heals himself by 10%. It's pretty cracked. So as an S tier character, I really like him a lot. Another S tier character that you guys can use maybe is probably do like maybe Android Aider. I know he's strike based, but he's just a really solid character to use. I'm not the biggest fan of the EX second form cell, so I'd rather rock Aider. I know that he's strike based, but this is what he does for the team. I mean, he just has great stats, so I'd rather prefer him over a character like EX Cell Junior. I mean, second form Cell EX, where he's just not really putting it up for real. Another Z tier character if you guys want is probably Android 15 if you guys don't have Cell Junior as an Android's main, but that's pretty much the only options I recommend is this 15 here for the Z tier spot, and then you have Aider, that's S tier. You can also do the free to play 13. He's not bad, but I rather prefer Aider over him. I just think he has better stats and everything. So when it comes to the other characters here for the C tier spot, Blue 17 is definitely a character that you need. He's just really like the best blue. I just like what he does for the team. Blast, Z ability, he gives like nice support buffs with like nullification on certain things. It's just really nice that he provides for the team that I really like. So decided to use him on there. Next after that, you got the yellow EX first form cell. He's a character that you really want on your team. He gives HP for androids. He gives support buffs for all his android allies, depending on the enemies. And then he also heals his allies at the end of the start of the third turn by 3%. Healing, health Z ability, and then support. Can't go wrong with that. Next after that, for my purple, I decided to go with purple 17. The reason why is because he's in B tier. Gives nice support depending on your range and everything. So I decided to put him on the left side so he supports everyone here. He's going to support MVP 17. He's going to support Magenta and then the Cell. Based off what he does here off his second thing here. His range here. So nice little support buffs there. And then he just does really great blast damage and stuff. So I really like him. I prefer him over the Cell because he gives some type of support for the other allies. After that, you got Red 21. Red 21 with great support. I believe he does support for like 2 people here. High key recovery. And then the free-to-play Zenkai character that you can't go wrong to have. So I decided to add her in there. Then I have Magenta. The reason why I like Magenta is just the debuff that he gives for the enemies. Like 20% damage received and then minus 30 to key recovery. So he's trying to find ways of you being able to attack first and deal more damage is really vital to me. If you guys do want to add in Gamma 1 or the Green 21, you guys can. The Green 21 is really solid because he has the Solar Flare thing, so can't attack. And then Gamma 1, he's just a character that probably has like really high key recovery, so he might attack first out of the 3, but I'd rather prefer the debuffs and everything. And I believe if he dies, he does give support buffs and healing for your team. So I like the Gamma. I like Magenta a little bit more than the other ones. Last but not least, I have Yellow 18. Yellow 18 just gives more support for the team and also heals. Can't go wrong for either for the setup here. When it comes to the yellow, I think the only yellows that you guys can really use is this cell here. You got that cell. Then you got the event exclusive cell. You also have this yellow EX18 that's really good, but I just don't know if a lot of you guys have her. I don't have the green Sparking 16, the new one version, but that's besides this. I already recommend any blues characters. Now, when it comes to the purples, like I said, it's really just like, I mean, it's really GT17, and then you have purple cell here. I'm not the biggest fan of the older cell just because I feel like he's strike based and the other cell is blast based. You guys could rock him, but I'd rather put him last. That's like if you have no purples, I'll put him last. The old 17 here. What other colors I'm missing? Red, free to play 18 is not bad. She's not a bad character, but I just prefer the red 21 a little bit more better. In my opinion. Then after that, you guys can always go down to the C tier spot and get red Super 17 just for the debuffs, or even the tag droids. There you guys can as well. But since I only have one C tier, you guys can be flexible with your setups. Let's hop into the next team. Alright, so for the next team here, we have LOE here. Let's start with like the backup characters. So for the backup characters, you got actually a decent amount of characters to choose from. So let's break this down. So for the backup characters, for the Z tier spot, the character that I like a lot is the EX Final Form Frieza. This one, high damage inflicted buffs, and like, I mean, as long as you have your allies together, he's getting up to 100% damage inflicted. Hopefully he doesn't get his buffs wiped by any character that you face as the enemy, but if he doesn't get his buffs wiped, 100 damage is pretty nuts. As a EX character, it's pretty nuts. If you guys do have the red EX Frieza that's in Z tier, you guys can use him as well. I just don't have him. He's a difficult character to pull, so I don't have him. But if you guys do, then definitely use him. Now let's go back to the S tier spot. You guys have Red Metal Cooler. Red Metal Cooler, I mean, he has high key recovery, and he does heal himself at the end of each turn. So you can't go wrong with that. And if you guys do rock him and red DBS Frieza at the same time, he is going to Zenkai buff that red DBS Frieza, which is really powerful. Another S tier character I like is the Metal Cooler. I kind of explained how good he is in the regen spot. Pretty solid free to play. Double defense, unfortunately, but gives support for the team and debuffs in his kit. So not a bad character, especially an S tier character you can't go wrong with. And then the last S tier character that I kind of like is this Final Form Cooler. Now he's strike based, but I mean, not a bad character, especially if you face Saiyans. He gets his special move gauge by 50, which is pretty nuts. And then his damage inflicted buffs to 70, but 120 key recovery. Not a bad EX character to use. So you have some decent good characters to use from the S and Z tier spot for LOE. Now let's hop into the main team. The main team, you definitely want Chilled. I can't believe Chilled is an A tier character. Like the fact that he is a Zenkai character, high stats, Z abilities for HP for the team, really good. And I believe that he gives support buffs for his allies, really good. If he gets his blue card, he can't attack, really good. So this character is just super good, and he's giving debuffs for the allies or the enemies. Just a really good character. Like, he's a character that you need. You're gonna need. Like, you're gonna need, bro. Like, he does too much. He's too valuable for the setup. Next after that, you got Purple Frieza. Just the fact that Purple Frieza can get Zenkai buff with him and the Chill together is pretty insane. It's a nice little duo that you want to have. Support for his allies, and he also does the can't attack thing as well. LOE is really good with the known issues with the can't attack stuff. Like, you have basically, in a sense, like 4 characters that can do that. If you have like the full LOE setup that I'm showing, you have like 4 characters that can do like the can't attack for your enemies. So like immobilizing them to not attack is super powerful. Like I said, support buffs here. I mean, he's one of the characters that's high key recovery. I think him and Chilled is like really high key recovery, so they're usually always going to attack first, which is really good, especially getting the damage out. Really nice there. Then like another character that you're just going to need to have is the Golden Frieza. I mean, he gets a guaranteed blue card, 100%. Start a 4th turn, 2 or more enemies rain, he gets a guaranteed blue. So it really kind of just depends. It depends on how many enemies is left. Like, he has a chance of getting 2 guaranteed blue cards. Start of the battle, he gets 1, and if the enemy has 2 characters at the start of 4th turn, he gets another blue card, bro. There's times where he can do 2 blue card guaranteed. That is insane, bro. Insane. But he's guaranteed to have 1, but he has a chance of getting another one depending on how much enemies is remaining after 4th turn. Nuts. You gotta have him. You gotta have him. Like, you gotta have him. You gotta have him. If you don't have him, like, I mean, you can replace him with like this Frieza here, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same. So the other characters here, we got Revival Frieza. Revival Frieza, he just gives some type of support and HP buffs for the team, and he also gives some type of debuffs for the enemies, so you can't get wrong with that. And he's also a revival character, so he's guaranteed to have 2 lives, which is really nice with some type of like sustainability for the team. Can't go wrong with that. Now we got Red Devious Frieza, another character that does the immobilization thing, start a first turn. This is he's pretty much like the best the blast base for LOE. Like I said, I think the Frieza, the Z tier one is strike based, if I'm not mistaken, or I think he's defensive. But he's a character that's been out here for what, since the 2nd anniversary, I believe, or 3rd anniversary, right? Well, 2nd year of Legends Fest, in a sense, with like Gogeta and DBS Broly. So he's been here for some time. So a lot of you guys still have him at high stars. And then the last character is Zenkai Cooler. He's one of the first characters to be dropped in the game. I mean, he's one of the first early banners. So I mean, if you guys do have him Zenkai, he has the can attack thing as well, and then he just does great debuffs, and then he heals himself. Really powerful here. When it comes to the replacements for the team, there's certain colors that you guys can't really replace in a sense. Like I said, the yellow, you guys can probably go with the Zenkai Full Power Frieza or the LF Yellow Frieza. In terms of the blue, some people do rock the Zenkai Cooler. Like I said, he's strike based. I kind of prefer you to have Revival Frieza, but he's not like he's a irreplaceable character. But if you guys do want to have a blue, you guys can go with Cooler here. In terms of the green, I really recommend the free-to-play Final Form Cooler because he heals every time he lands a blast card. He has some support on his kit, which is really nice. And then this Frieza is not bad, but he's more of a melee type here, so you guys can use him as well. In terms of the purple, I mean, the only other purple to use is either Golden Glizzy or Go Frieza for like a blue-purple hybrid, right? But like I said, you're kind of building more of a strike-based side of the team. I really prefer the blast-based side. It just has way better synergy, not going to lie. Another good green that you guys can also rock is Golden Frieza. Golden Frieza, I mean, he heals himself by what's the name? He heals himself by 1 every time he lands a blast or strike. And then he just has high key recovery and does great damage, especially with the bleed effect. Can't really go wrong with that. So that's pretty much for LOE. Really niche team though, but really powerful team. Let's hop into the next team. Alright, so for the next team here, we have Majin Buu Saga Blast Base. I still feel like the Blast Base team kind of has the edge on the Strike Base. Maybe because I don't have a lot of the characters like Fusion Vegeta and stuff. I'm going to try to look a little bit more deeper probably next season about the Strike Base side of Majin Buu Saga. But the Blast Base side is, me personally, I think just a little bit better. Especially the Strike Base characters do, I mean the Blast Base does have some Z abilities for Majin Buu Saga compared to the Strike Base side. But let's get straight into it. So for the Z's and the S, I have the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. I think he's just one of the better S and Z tier characters for Majin Buu Saga. Does great damage for the 3 turns, right? And then minus 20. So he has some ways of doing damage. He has some ways of tanking. And if he dies, he gives support buffs. But I think he's just a pretty solid S tier character. And then for the Z tier character, you do have this transforming Kid Trunks. Like I couldn't really not include him. I mean, he transforms, does decent, especially for a Z tier character. You can't really go wrong with that. Those really like the main 2 best characters for real for the Majin Buu Saga. Maybe Dabura, just because I believe he gives support at the end of the turn for his allies, but it's only for 2 turns. But I just feel like the green hybrids, I just feel like they're just better than everybody here. Maybe Purple Super Buu, Buhan, but I just don't really like him as much as well. But that's probably like your best bet is those 4. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of him either, so I really just recommend the double greens here. Let's hop into the team, the main 6 here. When it comes to the yellows, I decided to go with 18, just the support she gives for Majin Buu Saga and the healing. Can't go wrong with that. I'll kind of explain how good she is on the androids. When it comes to Pui Pui, I decided to add him because he gives support for the team, and then he has an HP for the team. And I just think he's a really solid green character, and especially since he's not in the C tier spot, he's just super valuable for the team. So I really recommend having him on your setup here because it's free to play. Hopefully, you guys, I don't know if he's in the free to play little exchange shop thing, but if you guys do have him, definitely use him for sure. Green Boo is really good. He heals himself every turn, charges up his blue card by 30% each battle, I believe. So not a bad character, just a character that's from the Z tier, the C tier spot. I already have multiple characters from the C tier spot. Now we also have Ultron. Ultron is probably like the irreplaceable character. He's gonna be the character that does like the most of the damage, most of the heavy lifting. He just does it all. Support for his allies and everything, and debuffs and stuff. He just does too much for his team that you can't really find a replacement for him. I'm not gonna lie. Then after that, for the red, I decided to go with Gotenks because I have them. If I don't have Gotenks, if I didn't have them, I would recommend probably just using Buhan here, because Buhan actually gives support for the team. Not support, but Z abilities for the team. And he's not a bad character, high Kira store speed. And you guys see, he does pretty good work on my regen setup. So if you guys don't have Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, you guys can just use Buhan here has another red. You guys could also do Shin as well, but Shin is also in the C tier spot. So you guys want to add him as a C tier, you guys can definitely do that as well. He gives support for the team, I believe. I think he does heal, if I'm not mistaken, on his kit. Now when it comes to the blue, you guys can definitely go with Butanks here. Now Butanks doesn't give Z abilities for Majin Buu Saga, but a guaranteed blue card character you can't go wrong with. But for the A tier spot, I mean, the fact that I have TN, I've decided to use him. He gives like health restoration, so a little bit more healing whenever 18 heals the team, and also the Fat Boo Hercule duo assist character, whatever. And I believe he has to give support as well. And he heals himself by the end of the third turn, and extra stuff there with his gauge. So can't go wrong with TN, but I know that he's a pretty tough character to have. Especially if you don't have my high stars. Him and Boo Tanks is probably like the best blues. I recommend, especially for the blast base side of Majin Buu Saga. You guys could double dab with the tag Goku, Vegeta, and the Kid Buu here, but you know, you kind of have to play around with how many C tier characters you guys want to use, but they're not bad options as well. When it comes to the yellow, I decided to go with, like I said, the Majin Buu Hercule assist, just because they provide key recovery. I mean, they charge the gauge by 30% each battle, and then they actually heal every time they land a strike or blast card. So, and they also give healing for his allies and support. This is a really good character here, especially if you guys did summon for Gotenks. You're most likely going to have both of these characters. In terms of, like, if you don't have the Majin Buu the Majin Buu Hercule setup here, you guys can always go with Fat Boo for just a little bit more healing here. But you guys can definitely do that for sure. I know he's strike based, but just you can never go wrong with extra healing on the team. That pretty much the replacements that I said for this team here. Really more of a niche team. Really blue, red, green. Purple, you want Ultron. Yellow, he's really like the best yellows, right? I mean, you guys can, unless you guys want to do a little bit of some balance in here and have like Ultra Kid Buu heals, and I believe he gets to be able to charge his blue card as well, which is pretty solid. But strike-based character in a sense, right? That's why I'm kind of not really talking about him much. Maybe another blue you guys have is Fusion Vegeta. Really powerful character. Another good yellow character is Ultra Majin Vegeta. I don't have him, so I don't know how good he is, but he's probably super cracked. But it kind of depends. Just don't have too much C tier characters, so you kind of have to just build whatever Majin Buu Saga character you do have, and kind of just make sure you limit yourself to like at least max three C tier characters for sure. But anyways, let's hop into the next team. All right, next we have is Uni Reps here. So with Uni Reps, I'm going with the Blast side. The next is going to be Strike side. So for my main setup, I have Kale here. You definitely want to have her because she gives healing and support for the team. Now she's super squishy though, but she's kind of like the EX Piccolo, and you know, like she just gives support and healing for the team. You want to have those characters that's being able to give HP back for their allies and support. Can't really go wrong with that. When it comes to like the S and Z tier characters, especially for like the blast based side, you definitely want to have EX Dispo. This is a blast based character, really solid here. I mean, great. I mean, this is a really good kit for a EX character, especially in the S tier spot, really solid. So if you do have Dispo, definitely rock him. And if you do want to have another character to use, you guys can definitely rock the Green Kaba. I mean, he gives ways of healing himself by 5%. But I kind of like the EX Dispo a little bit more. But like I said, if you guys don't have EX Dispo at high stars, you probably might want to go with the Super Saiyan Kaba here for the S tier spot. The other character I decided to rock was EX Topo. Cause EX Topo, I mean, he's kind of neutral. He can kind of be on strike or blast. He does a little bit more strike, but it is what it is. I mean, solid character, gives support for his allies. Do a little bit more for rival universe, so you have a lot more character that's not from the universe 7. Then you guys, yeah, his value kind of goes up a little bit higher, but solid character still. You guys can definitely do Bergamo as well if you guys want to, but he's just more on the strike base side. And then none of the characters here kind of impressed me on the Z tier spot, so I kind of just decided to rock these characters. These main 4 as my EX characters. Probably gonna be the main 4 for the strike base side, but let's go with the main 6. You definitely want to have Yellow Frieza. I mean, Yellow Frieza, like the fact that he's not even in C tier no more, he got raised up to B tier. He always been in C tier, but the fact that he's in B tier is really, really good here. Really, really good. Probably the best is Blast Yellow that you just want to have. Really hard to say like there's a replacement for him because he gets what, a guaranteed blue card, and depending on how much allies units, I mean enemies units remain in the start of the 4th turn, he gets another guaranteed blue card. It's really difficult for you to replace that character because no one else does that, from my knowledge. When it comes to the C tier spot, I decided to use 2 of my C tier characters to be LF Jiren, just for a strong blast based purple character, and then 17 is kind of a character that you kind of just want to have for both the strike and the blast side. He's kind of just a really good blue, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a really good blue to have, so I decided to use him. And then for my green character, decided to go with Golden Frieza. Kind of like Golden Frieza over like the free-to-play TN, especially since they're free-to-play characters. They kind of have like low stat spread. So, and then also have Red Bergamo, HP for the team. He heals himself, and what else? He's a Zenkai character, and he ramps up over time. And I believe he also has a way of dealing strike or blast. He nullifies it with his green special action, so that's really good as well. Can't go wrong with that. Now replacements. When it comes to the purple, I mean, the really UI Goku is really like the only purple that I'll kind of recommend replacing Jiren if you kind of have UI a little bit better than the Jiren. I don't have the yellow UI Goku. I don't have him, so he will be in C tier, but I don't have him. When it comes to the red, you guys could definitely use MUI Goku. You guys could also use Casserole, but Casserole's kind of more on the strike base side, which I'm kind of talking about for the next team. So, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to the green, like I said, you got to be real iffy. Be careful, just depending on how many C tier characters you have. If you guys want to add another C tier character, you guys can definitely do the Kaioken and Evolution Goku and Vegeta. You also have, I don't know how I feel about Revival Goku and God Topo being in the what's name spot here. Let me take a look at God Topo. I don't know if his kit is something that I'm like, oh, it's like C tier worthy. Nah, I'm not really the biggest fan of it. Alright, go to the B tier and either rock Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta or TOP TN. Especially TOP TN because he has the Solar Flare and stuff. They both can heal off their blast cards, which is really good. I rather recommend just get a little bit more points off them than going with a C tier green character for the blast base. That's pretty much it there, right? Yep. Let's hop into the strike base side. Alright, next we have this strike base Unireps team here. Basically, you know, Kale and 17 kind of stays in a sense. Like I said, just because they're just the main blue. I know they're blast base and stuff, but especially Kale, you want the healing and the support. You need that. You just need that. When it comes to the Kaioken Goku, you do have, like, he's basically kind of like the ultimate version of Golden Frieza with the guaranteed blue card. He's just more on the strike base side. Frieza's a little bit better, but if you guys do want to rock both of them together, you guys can definitely do that. You guys can rock this double yellows with them two, just having 2 guaranteed blue cards for each team. So if you want to do like maybe a balance, you guys can just add both of them together. Can't really go wrong with it, but like I said, this is more for a strike base side. But if you do just want to add one blast character, it's not going to really be the be all end all for your setup, right? But I just wanted to do a strike base side. You have Bergamo here. Really valuable red, Zenkai red with HP. He heals, right? He has the nullification on the strike or blast for the first time. He gets hit and then he ramps up over time. It's really difficult for you to really replace the character, but Like I said, you have MUI here, and then you also have Ultra Hit. But I'd rather just save my C tier spots for another character. So, but you guys do have options of Red Hit and MUI, and you also have Castrol here. Castrol is actually not bad. He's actually pretty solid here. Does decent stuff, gives support for his allies and stuff. Not bad. I just recommend Bergamo a little bit more, just because he's a B tier HP buffer for the team. Kind of like him a little bit more, and he's not in a C tier red. You can use it. You can use another C tier character to use right over having to use it for a red character. Now, when it comes to the backup characters, like I said, I'm recommending Bergamo just because he's strike based, and then I also have Topo here. Topo does a little bit more strike on his kit here, and he does a little bit better if he's paired up with other Universe Reps characters. Since the fact that we only have 3 Universe 7 characters off the setup, it's pretty solid here, really solid. When it comes to the purple here, I decided to go with just Go Frieza as my other C tier spot, just because, I mean, just an offensive strike blue and purple. You kind of need that. You guys could just go with Jiren as well, but I wanted to go with the strike based side of the team, so I went with Go Frieza here. And then as for my green, I decided to go with Kiawe just because Kiawe gives support buffs for strike attack for our allies. He restores ally health by 1. Pretty good. I mean, you don't gotta be at a specific part of the field. Really nice. I think she's really like one of the only few strike based characters. And like I said, I don't want to go with this Jiren here because he's in C tier, and I don't really know if he's like worth. I mean, not a bad kit. End of turn, he heals himself with the gauge. That's not bad. It's not a bad first kit here. Actually, pretty good. Yeah, actually got a pretty good kit, but I just didn't want to put another C tier character on the team. But if you guys just want to maybe flex it up a little bit, maybe take out Go Frieza, you could probably do something where take out Kiawe, take them out, and maybe do like a double yellow like this. It's not a bad idea. So you have double yellows, guaranteed blue cards. You have a pretty strong green still. You have a decent blue, good red. Just the only problem is your only purple is going to be Bergamo here. Just hopefully that you're just not facing a lot of greens for this specific season and routes, but that's probably might be like the only downside with this setup. But here, I mean, you trade it in for double yellows. Hopefully you're not facing a lot of reds, but you already do have double blues on your setup, guaranteed 2 blues from both characters. Might not be a bad trade up here for sure. So yeah, let's hop into the next team. All right, so for this team we have strike based movies. When it comes to this setup, it's kind of really based off coolers because of one of our S tier characters that I feel like is pretty solid here. I didn't really see well. You also do have this Frieza that you guys can rock, but this is more of like the setup with Thouser, because Thouser kind of is mid if you're not paired up with any coolers, right? So if you guys are rocking Thouser as one of your main S backup characters, then you kind of want to pair them up with multiple coolers and stuff. So that's why this strike-based movie is a little bit more with coolers and everything. But if you guys don't, you guys can rock this green Frieza and replace him. You do have the yellow metal cooler as well, but I don't have them. I don't know if that red EX Frieza's movies. I don't think he is. I think he's just from the Namek saga, that red Frieza, the EX one. But this one's catered towards Thouser, but that green Frieza is a really great option, especially since he's in a Z tier spot. I kind of recommend him over Thouser for sure. Another good character that you guys can use is EX Cooler here. He's a really solid character in my opinion. Another S tier character that's strike based that I really like. Aider is not a bad option as well. And then also you have Red Turles here. Really good, I believe at the end of the start of turn, he heals by 10%. Really good. And then you also have Goku. The fact that Goku gives HP for the team, I think he has a pretty solid kit here. Especially once he start a second turn, he charges gauge up about 40%. It's pretty nice. So it's kind of like every 2 battles, he kind of in a sense can get a guaranteed blue card. It's really solid there. So you have some good S and Z tier spots. I definitely do recommend if you guys do have the Frieza, you guys can definitely rock him. If you rock 1,000, then definitely have LF Cooler for sure. If you're not rocking Thouser, you guys can maybe go here. Maybe this might be a little bit better setup here. And then if you go to the C tier spot, you might want to take out Red Cooler and go with Red. Nope, not you. You go with the double beast Gohan setup, and then as my other yellow, I went with Gotenks because Gotenks, my other C tier character, Gotenks, just the support that he gives and the debuffs he gives for the enemy is really valuable for me. So I decided to add him as my 3 C tier characters, all alongside each other. And then I decided here to go with the Tapion just because he's in the B tier spot. But he's gonna Zenkai Red movies, I believe, right? He's Zenkai's Red movies, so him. If you use Red Beast or Cooler, they're getting a Zenkai buff, so that's not bad. You can't go wrong with that. And then for the green, I went with Green Trunks just because he benefits by having the Trunks on the team. So I was like, hey, I might as well use Drip Trunks, right? You know what I'm saying? He gets extra little buffs there. And then the Green Trunks, strike-based character, and he's also in the A tier spot, so you get some decent boost off of him. Decided why I picked him, right? Him and then the Tapion synergy. And then he's Zenkai buffing a really strong Red Movies PO. Not Red Movies. Just a Red Movies character with Cooler or Beast. Kind of like the synergy there. And then for my purple, Red Ribbon Army Piccolo. Now the issue with this team is they do a lot of great offense, but you just don't got a lot of characters that's like healing the team a lot. So you only got really just one healer, and he kind of only heals what 1 HP for 1 turn. So you're kind of playing a risky game, but you're kind of really expecting just your main C tier characters to really kind of carry you for real. But when it comes to options for the purple, I really like Piccolo because, like I said, you don't really have any characters that's really healing your team for real, so that's why I add him. For Red and Blue Beast Gohan, you guys can really go with any other characters from the C tier spots, blues or red. Like you have Janemba, you have Broly. There's some characters I don't have on my team that's from the movie side, like Turles, for example. I don't know how good he is, but that's a character I don't have. Right, Pan is actually a really good option here. I'll recommend putting Pan there if you maybe want to rock Pan instead of the Red Tapion. But like I said, just don't want to add in too many C tier characters. But she's a great option, especially putting her down here because she gives support for the people on top of her. You guys see the little blue thing is kind of like glowing because that's who she supports. So decided to add him in there. If you don't really care too much about the Trunks here, you guys can just switch them out with Great Saiyaman. Great Saiyaman gives some great support based off his kit. It's really not bad there. But like I said, when it comes to the strike-based side of the greens, in a good tier spot, they're really blast-based characters. You see a lot more blast strike-based characters than the green ones. So I kind of just put Green Trunks there because he's just the highest tier green strike-based. And like I said, you have this EX character, so maybe you want to have double greens. Purple, Red Ribbon Army Piccolo is my purple that I'm using. You don't really have any options for strike-based purples. A lot of the other characters are really blast-based, and a lot of them are in the C-tier spot. So maybe if you want to use one of your C-tier spots instead of Red Ribbon Army Piccolo, maybe a stronger C-tier character, you guys could definitely do that. Like Super Saiyan 2 Revival Gohan or even Ultra Frieza, you guys can do that. Maybe switch out the Gotenks and maybe add in a yellow character like Yellow Tapion, for example, or even the yellow Bardock here, just because you guys are Zenkai. Not really the biggest fan of him, but if you guys want to go that route, you guys can definitely do as well. I feel like a lot of his thing is kind of handicap off health and if he dies, so I'm not the biggest fan of him, especially when it comes to TOP. Yeah, that's pretty much it there. Let's hop into the next team. Alright, so for the next team, we have blast-based movies here. When it comes to the S and Z tier spots, man, this is really just like the LOE setup. Like, I'm pretty much using the same character from LOE. Red, you got Red Metal Cooler here, and then you also got that Z tier Frieza I mentioned in the strike-based side of movies. Just really good characters. Like, this is a character that I use for regen, and he does pretty good, so. Especially rocking this DBS Frieza as your other red for your main. He's going to Zenkai buff him, which is really nice. And then, like I said, that Frieza is really good. When it comes to the other S tier characters, that's more so the blast side. Like I said, you got the DBS metal. Not the DBS, but you got the metal cooler. That'll be pretty cool. A DBS cooler, that'll be tough. But metal cooler free to play. And you also have Turles here. That's not bad. I kind of put him a little bit on the last spot. He has great healing, but I kind of prefer like the LOE characters a little bit over this guy. The other characters, there's a lot of other good characters. This is more strike side. Like Goku, and then you have the Frieza. I mean, not Frieza. You got the Final Form Cooler, the blue one. You got the Turles Red EX. You got Ader. But they're more on the strike-based side of things. So if you maybe want to add a strike character, you guys definitely can. But I'm trying to go more of a blast-based setup here. Now, when it comes to the green, I decided to go with Gogeta just because he gets a guaranteed blue at the start of the third turn here with the can attack thing. Really feel like that's really powerful, right? As one of my C tier characters. Now, if you guys want to, you guys can always just go with the Zenkai Cooler. He's a really good character. I kind of mentioned how good he is in DBS Frieza. That's the DBS Frieza, but the LOE squad of the blast base of LOE. Great debuffs for the enemies, especially when he has the can attack thing, and he just does a lot of good debuffs and just great damage. And I believe he heals. I be forgetting, man. I'm sorry. Yep, he heals at the start of the second turn, and he ramps up a little bit more with the gauge and stuff. So, not a bad character for the green spot. You also have the Final Form Cooler here. He's blast based. He's kind of like a, like I said, he's kind of like a lesser version than the Zenkai Cooler. Any other greens that I recommend? You also do have Magenta and Gamma 1. I prefer Magenta a little bit more over Gamma 1 just because of the debuffs, but he's in the B tier spot, so I kind of put him third. Gamma 1 I'll probably put last for the green spot. Now I have Roshi here. I think Roshi is one of the characters that's kind of irreplaceable just because he gives the HP buffs for movies in Dragon Ball Saga or DB, whatever. And he gives support. You believe each turn he heals his own health by 1%. And I believe he gives allies buffs. And you guys see he charges his blue card at each turn. So that's pretty nice that over time he's able to do that stuff, which is really good. And then he has really good damage inflicted buffs and everything. He just has multiple ways of charging his gauge. So I believe that each turn he's going to get 10%. So at every battle he's going to get guaranteed 40% of his blue card. Can't really go wrong with that at all. So definitely recommend having Roshi there. And as my purple Piccolo, you know what I'm saying, he gives more, just healing for the team and support and debuffs. It's really difficult for me to find someone that can replace him. Because you want healing, you want debuffs for the enemies, you want support for your allies. Kind of does that, and he's free to play. I know that he's not in the free to play exchange shop, but if you guys do have him, you guys can use him. If you guys don't have him, man, you guys might have to dig down and might use like light skin Piccolo, Garlic Jr., or even Path to Power Goku as your purple blast based movies character, because there really isn't no good other blast based movies characters. This Goten is not bad, but he kind of thrives off being paired up with Goku and Gohan characters just for that extra little buffs here. That's just really powerful. So I kind of recommend him. If you're gonna rock a movies theme, kind of cater him around like Sun Fam, pretty much a Sun Fam team more than a movies team. When it comes to the rest of DBS Frieza, any other reds I kind of recommend? There's really no red blast based characters for movies. I ain't gonna lie to you. The only character I probably might put is probably either you guys go to the C tier spot and put in Pan. Pan is another character that has HP. You guys, I only have two C tier characters, so you guys can definitely add Red Pan. You guys can do Goku Piccolo, and you guys also have the Great Saiyaman one. So if you guys want to add in another C tier character, you guys do have an option. Red Pan might be someone that I recommend, so you might do something like this here. Do something like this. So you have Piccolo supporting people below him like that, and then you also have Pan that's supporting people above, and then you also have Roshi that's supporting people like in the middle. So that's just a really nice synergy between these three there. As my other C tier character, I decided to go with the Gammas. Like I said, I have Gamma's low star, but Gamma's just a really powerful yellow blast based character if you kind of don't want to rely off Roshi to kind of do all the heavy lifting. And then for the blue character, I decided to go with the blue free to play Broly. I think he's just a really good character in the B tier spot, so he got some type of boost, and he does heal himself at the end of the second turn here. Can't really go wrong with what his stats does here, so I decided to add him as a decent blue option. Pretty much it with the blast base. Is there a good blue character to use besides him? Only one I could think of is actually this Gohan here, but this Gohan, his kit is kind of a little bit focused on like PO. I think it's like down here. He has a lot of good stuff here, but you gotta be paired up with PO. So if you face your routes with a lot of POs, maybe you want to put the Gohan. I mean, the Gohan is in the A tier spot compared to the B tier spot of the Broly, but I'd rather go with the Broly instead. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the Blast Base Movies team here. Let's hop into the next team. Alright, so for the next team, we have Blast Base GT. Really the two main characters you just need, that you're going to need, is going to be Bolo Vegeta and then Super Baby 2, just for the support and the healing. Like, just the double heal. I definitely think they deserve with my C tier spot characters, so I decided to add them. Double heal. You're just going to need it. You're just going to need it, bro. So, in terms of the backup characters, though, excuse me. I decided to go with the Majub in the Omega Shenron. I just feel like they're just the best characters to choose from. I have the S and Z tier spots. Now I don't have the EX that new EX Trunks, not this Trunks here, but there's another Trunks. I don't have him. If you guys do have him, definitely use him. He gives support, and I think he does great stuff on his kit, but I just don't have him. So if you guys do have him as a Z tier character, definitely put him in here for sure. Definitely probably replace my Jube maybe just for more of a blast base setup. But if you guys do have that, if you guys don't have him, I'll probably put my Jube third. Then after that, when it comes to the S tier spots, then I'll probably say this yellow Super Saiyan Vegeta is probably fourth for me out of the characters to use from for the blast base side. Then maybe fifth, I'll probably do this Shenron. I believe he's in the Z tier spot. Yeah, he's in the Z tier spot, so I mean, he's a character that gives support for his team, so that's pretty much what his main use is. Only for 2 turns, but it's pretty damn good, and especially he's in the Z tier spot. So, yep. In terms of the other blast characters, I went with GT17 here. Kind of the same reason for androids. He has a nice little support buff here, especially if you put him here. He's gonna, especially if you put him here, he's gonna support Super Baby 2, Baby Trunks, and he doesn't support the Goku, for real? That's weird. I would thought he would support the Goku. You put him on the left side. But it is what it is. I ain't tripping about it. But he is going to support the Baby Trunks and the Super Baby 2 there. So that's super good as well. I decided to go with the red Super Saiyan Goku as my blast base character. I took a look at the new Shenron or new Shen. I don't know. I feel like the what's name is a little bit better, especially since he needs to be at a certain health to like kind of get this extra little buff here. And I believe that this Goku just does a little bit more debuffs here. And you guys see this, like this is some nice debuff for the enemies here. So I kind of value him a little bit more than the red free-to-play Shenron. So I think he's still a little bit better in my opinion. In terms of the yellow, I decided to go with Rage. Just Rage. If you land a strike card against him, he does the can attack for the enemy, and every time he gets hit with a blast, I mean, he only heals himself by 1, but he ramps up damage and the gauge, so not bad there. Depending on if he receives a strike card, he does certain things. If he receives a blast card, he does certain things, so that's really nice. But the main thing I like about him is it's his healing there. Like, you see like this S shape here, like this is supportable for his allies. That's a lot of panels that he can support. Like, if I click on him, he should basically be supporting. What? Are you sure? Hold on. Killing sports up there. Hold on. I think it's depending on where he's at. Yeah, see. Hold on. Wait. I'm tripping. Oops. Where did he go? I took him out. Unless does he need everybody needs to be here? No, that's something else. Oh no, I'm tripping. Huh. I thought he was going to support everyone. Unless there's a specific thing that you need to be. Let me check here. Yeah, allies in range. I wonder why it's only showing, it's not highlighting everybody. Unless there's something else that needs to happen, but I ain't tripping. It is what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much the setup there with the blast base side of things. Now, when it comes to the replacements, it's pretty difficult, especially with GT, because like the purple, like the 17 is really the best blast base purple. When it comes to the green, you guys can definitely go with another C tier character with the Omega Shenron, or you guys can go with full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku as your green replacement over Baby Trunks. But the fact that Baby Trunks is an A tier, he kind of has the edge over them in terms of points wise. But if you have Super Saiyan 4 Goku or Shenron, you guys can use another C tier character. You guys can definitely do that. Or if you guys want to replace the red Super Saiyan Goku there as your red, you guys can go with the Super 17. You can't really go wrong with that either. Those are really the only two C tier characters I'll rock is Omega and Super 17, especially for this blast base setup. Yellow wise with Rage, you do have this Zenkai Shin that's not bad, but he's kind of really based off like certain thresholds of his health. He kind of grants more stuff off his kit. Not really the biggest fan of that. In terms of the blue, you guys do have ice here, but if you're a GT main, you're most likely going to have the EX Omega at a decent star count, so I just recommend EX Omega. So yeah, that's the blast side. Let's go to the strike side next. Alright, so for the next team here, we have Strike Base GT. Super Baby 2 and Bullet Vegeta. Like I kind of don't really need to explain myself every time. Just healing and support. That's why I have them as my main C tiers. And then for the other C tier character, I decided to go with Tag Force. Just really just the best offensive green, right? You guys could actually do UG4 as well, maybe for like a better offensive purple, but I'd rather use Tag Force for a better green because like there really isn't no other greens to use, right? Like Blast Base, I mean they're blast. Like I'd rather spend the C tier character on them on the Tag Force. But if you guys just want to do UG4 just not have a green, then you guys could definitely do that for sure. Like I'm not going to question that. I mean UG4 is probably insane in TOP. I don't have him, but he's probably nuts. So let's hop into the other team, the other characters. For the S tier spot, I decided to go with the Oob and Shenron. They're just the best two characters, especially since I don't have the GT, the new EX GT Trunks. They're really like the best two after that. I'm not rocking Rildo, Dildo, whatever. I'm not rocking him. I'm not rocking Ice, and Ice Nova. I'm rocking these two. So yeah, maybe Ice probably fourth, maybe. But yeah, let's hop into the other teams here. Not the other teams, but the other characters. This team is kind of more catered around. Let me actually take Omega out. This is kind of more of like a Sun Fam GT setup. Just if you guys want to prioritize this Pan Z ability because she buffs girls in Sun Fam. So basically every character in the main 6 is Sun Fam besides Baby. But Baby does Zenkai buff her, so that's pretty nice, right? So if you want to really prioritize her Z ability, then a setup like this. But me personally, I think I'd rather go down to the B tier spot and use Omega instead of that red GT Goku. I think this Omega I like his kit a little bit more. So I will sacrifice the extra little 28 strike attack from the team for red Omega. That's just how I am. Especially for the strike base side. And for the yellow side, I decided to go with the Pan Trunks Giru. I mean, she gives support for the team, and I think right here, where was it at? I think it's here. Oh, here, yeah. After receiving attack, allies and range 10%. So she does get healed. She does heal herself up, support. So if she does get hit, great benefits. And then you also have 2 healers, so that's going to heal up the damage it's probably going to take, right? And then after that, Tag Force, I kind of explained that. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you want to rock the Pan, definitely for sure, because she has a really high key recovery. I believe she's like one of the highest key recoveries like in just TOP. Like 2.7 is pretty OD. So really good there. When it comes to the yellow spots, like I said, I really don't want to put Forku or Baby. I'd rather use the extra C tier for the Tag Force there. And then when it comes from the yellows, like I mean, you do have Shin here. And you do have my Jube there. Or you guys could just do raids. If you guys just want to just maybe sprinkle in a little bit of some blast characters, you guys can. But I'm trying to go with more of a strike-based side of the team. If you guys want to do another purple, like I said, UG4 or Forku here. But you probably might want to place, maybe replace the Pan for maybe do like a double purple. So you have like UG4 here, just a super Omega offensive character. But you'll have 4 C tier characters. So you might want to go with Forku. Forku's not bad. I mean, he heals himself every turn with strike damage, so not bad. And then he's going to Zenkai buff Bolo Vegeta as well because purple, purple GT. Other than that, here, any other? Yeah, that's pretty much it with the replacements there. Really niche setup. A lot of the good strike-based GT characters are all in C tier. Forku, UG4. I mean, you got the Super Saiyan 3 Goku here. You got Baby. You got Forku. You got Tag. I mean, you got Gogeta. So you just kind of just want to be real iffy about it. If you do add a lot of C tier characters and B tiers, then these characters got to be in the Z tier spot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to do more of a balanced setup. Kind of similar like that regen setup I mentioned before. So let's hop into the next team. Alright, so next after that we have is hybrids, hybrid strike base, and then the last team is going to be the blast base side of things. Super long videos, like of course, like always, but yeah, let's get straight into it. So for the main C tier characters, I decided to go with 3 here. I mean, Bolo Vegeta, the healing, come on, healing and support. Healing and support, and then my main 2 offensive damage dealers is going to be Red Beast, Blue Beast, man. They just go crazy, bro. Like, it's just like, I don't know, bro. It's like Pippen and Jordan, bro. Like, you kind of just like, they just too deadly. That's disrespectful. It's like Luka and Kyrie. You feel me? Like, they just offensive heavy characters, right? Like, you got it. I just like rocking them both together. So I wanted to go with Bolo Vegeta for my 3rd character. You guys could do Go Tanks here. Not a bad option, but I decided to go with the extra purple there just for the healing and the support. Go Tanks is not a bad option as well, but I want to go with Bolo Vegeta. Now when it comes to the backup characters, I decided to go with the Trunks here because the kid Trunks, because he is in the Z tier spot. Now if you guys do have, I mean, I don't know how good that GT Trunks is. I don't know if his support is catered to GT characters, but he's gonna be in Z tier. If you guys do have that blue Super Saiyan Team Gohan, I think he's in S tier this season, but that's a really good character. I think he's catered more to the strike base side of things as well. I would recommend those characters for sure. And then when for the S tier spot, I decided to go with the purple transforming Trunks. At least he gives some type of support when he enters the field, right? Yeah, here in the first turn he gives support for like hybrids for 2 turns. Not a bad character here. And then also another good character that you guys can use is Super Trunks. I might actually replace Super Trunks, this Trunks, and actually go with Green Sweater Trunks. He's probably actually has a better kit than him. Yeah, better kit for sure. Yeah, I mean Green Sweater Trunks. If you guys don't have him, he's a pretty difficult character to pull. He's not in a lot of banners, so you guys could go with the purple Trunks. You guys can go with the kid Trunks. You guys can go with this is more of a strike based side of the team. You guys can even go with this Trunks here. I think this Trunks is more suited for event exclusive Future Vegeta Clan, which is why I kind of stayed away from him, especially with the extra little support buff that he does here with the cancel. Nothing crazy, but I mean it's a nice buff. Cancels attribute downgrades. That's actually pretty powerful, especially for TOP. So if you want to add him as one of your blues, you guys definitely can. I'll probably put him last, but those pretty much like the options for the S tier spots of the strike base side. Now, if you don't really care too much about like the strike base and the blast base side, this character is really good. This Gohan Kid character, and then the S tier spot, you do have this Go Tanks, not a bad character as well. When it comes to the other characters on the team, I have Green LF Trunks here. I mean, he's a character that's always in the B tier spot. I mean, high key recovery, great damage. I mean, he does extra little buffs against Frieza Force. You're not going to really face too many Frieza Force, but I don't know. I just feel like he does really good stuff here. I mean, in the first turn, he heals, and then he gets this special action where he gets high key recovery. Like, this dude's having 220 key recovery. So he might be one of the faster characters just because of the 220 key recovery. So, I mean, the fact that he's in B tier, really solid S tier character. I mean, a green character. Why not add him, right? As for the other yellow character, I decided to go with the Pangiru. Give support for the team. And then another solid just strike based character for the hybrids. Double attack too, so can't really go wrong with it. I decided to rock them as my two B tier characters. Like when it comes to the yellow side of strike base, like I mean you pretty much have them in this Gohan here. Future Gohan doesn't really do much for the team, so I kind of have them as my two main offensive characters for like the yellow side. You guys could also do Goten, the transforming Goten. You guys definitely could do it. I mean, he's part of the what's the name tier, right? He's part of the A tier, and he does give support, and he does get a guaranteed blue card. So you could replace Goten and do something like this. Maybe you want Blue Beast to get the extra little support from Goten, or maybe it's Red Beast. God damn it, I didn't mean to do that. You could do something like this as well. And I also have Blue Pan in there just because he gives support buffs, Zenkai buffs for the Blue Beast. You could replace this Pan and maybe go Great Saiyaman. Now Great Saiyaman is in the B tier spot, but he does Zenkai and gives support off his Z abilities here for the team, depending on where he's at. And he does Zenkai buff Red Beast. You also have Red Trunks here, kind of Zenkai Red hybrids. But I rather prefer the Great Saiyaman with the support and the Zenkai buffer a little bit more for that setup here. If you guys do want to go maybe with another, maybe you guys want to go with let's go drop him down here. Actually, let's put this Trunks here. Maybe you guys want to do 4 C tier characters. Then I'll probably add Red Pan there to give support like this. Yeah, that's pretty much it with the setup here with the strike base side. Let's hop into the last team, the blast base hybrids. Alright, so the last team, the blast base hybrids team, let's get straight into it, man. Let's wrap this video up. So for the Z tier, S tier spot, I kind of already mentioned it in the strike base side, but more of a blast base setup. Gohan, EX Kid here, and you also have the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. I couldn't really see anybody else that kind of like caught my eye, but if you don't really care too much about like all of it being blast base, I mean some other good characters. If you do have that Super Saiyan Gohan from the movies set up, the teen Gohan or adult Gohan, actually definitely use him. You also have the GT Trunks. Not too sure how good he is when it comes to hybrids. I know for GT he's a little bit better. I think he gives support for GT, but I don't know about hybrids. You also have anybody else I'm missing? I feel like I'm brain farting here. You have characters like the Trunks here. I believe, yep, he does double offense for strike and blast, so he's not a bad character to choose just because of his Z ability for the team. You also have this green Gohan, this ranged one. It's not bad. I'm not the biggest fan of him because at the end of the first turn he has to transform and stuff, so he's kind of he starts stuff a little bit slow, but he's not a bad character to choose for sure. Probably put more on the end side of things. And then you also have this EX Gohan here that's not bad. I mean, per enemy he can get up to what, 6 times 15, 90 blast damage, so with key recovery, so that's not bad as an EX character. So you got some good options for the hybrids if you don't really care too much about blast base and strike base. Now when it comes to the C tier spots of the team, you do have Ultimate Gohan. That's the character that's like the anchor of the team. Really difficult to replace him. And then when it comes to the red, I decided to go with Gotenks just because he's a blast based character. If you guys don't have Gotenks, you guys could just replace Gotenks and probably add Pan. Pan might be a little bit better of a choice just because he gives support for the team and she's the HP buffer, so it's not like it's hurting you if you guys don't have Gotenks. I actually probably will put Pan, actually. I actually put Pan. Now when it comes to this green character, if you guys do have Ultra Gohan, replace Cryhon immediately with Ultra Gohan. Ultra Gohan just absolutely crack when it comes to TLP. Like just especially every time you land a strike card, he does a little gauge thing. And I think he gets a guaranteed blue card or something crazy like that, right? I'll definitely replace the Cryhon with Gohan. But I don't have Ultra Gohan, so I'm rocking Cryhon as my green blast based character. Excuse me. Now, if you guys could do like another setup, I might show you guys after this. And then for my blue here, I decided to go with the Super Saiyan Gohan because I just need like a blue blast based hybrid character that's in like A to B. So I decided to rock him. And I also have this Goten here. The reason why I have this Goten here, he heals for Gohan and Goku characters and support buff for Gohan and Goku characters. So the main middle is basically just Gohan characters, so he can heal and give support for the team. And I decided to add this Goten here. Don't really have too much blast based hybrids. Like, yeah, you do have Trunks and Vegeta, but they don't Zenkai buff. They don't buff hybrids. And I didn't want to add in another C tier character, so I decided to go with the Goten here. Double Z abilities, double offensive Z abilities, so buffing, blast, attack Z ability for the team. And then he gets a guaranteed blue card and he gives support. So it's not bad. If you guys do want to do a different setup, or you might have a strike based character, what you guys can do is probably take this Gohan, add in Blue Beast, and take him out and do something like this. It's not a bad setup. This Gohan, I think he does a little bit more strike. Yeah, not a bad character though, but if you want to do something like that, you guys can definitely do that. I won't really be mad too much. You're still keeping the Gohans there. You got Pan for HP, support as well, debuffs and everything. Then you got this Goten here that's going to support that Gohan. And yeah, that's pretty much it with the setup is there. Free to play Gohan, Goten, I kind of recommend to use it really depends on your C tier spots though. This is a team that you guys could just do 4 C tier characters. If you guys just want to have a stronger blue and just take him out and have Ultra Gohan, definitely do that. Just make sure that you are definitely rocking a Z tier character so you can get the extra points off your backup characters on the backside. So you want to like go crazy with the super offensive main 6 here, you guys could definitely add in. And you guys have Ultra Gohan, you guys could do Pan, Ulton, Beast Gohan, and then Ultra Gohan. And then you have him giving support for them to do a little bit more damage and healing. And then you have this person that's just a solid, good Z ability for the team, and then guaranteed blue card. Can't go wrong with that. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and rough man, I'm out. Peace.